show. I'm Lee Williams, the gun writer.
And I'm Mike Young from Young Guns and Safety.
Appreciate you coming aboard. On this week's show, we have a full mag or a full drum of really cool stories. We start out shooting shorty AKs with Felix, the Mad Russian from Gunpoint.
And then we talk to Alex at T1 Ammunition about primer safety.
Important stuff, bro. Then we take a whole bunch of different bullets and we throw them at some body armor made by KDH. Everything from a 9mm up to a 12-gauge slug.
Then you get to go out and shoot suppressed AKs. How cool is that?
It's my favorite rifle. After that, we're going to show you why three-gun shooting is the most popular, the quickest growing shooting sport in the country.
And then we're going to meet Karen Rushing, Sarasota's clerk of court, and go shoot some clays.
She can shoot, brother.
Yes.
Stay tuned. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's start out with my favorite rifle made even smaller. They're so cute when they're little, bro. Shorty AKs with Felix, the Mad Russian.
And he knows how to make them.
Oh, he makes it better than anybody. Great gun. Hey, welcome to another very special edition of Gun Writer TV with Mike and Dave and Felix from Gunpoint. We really appreciate you coming out here and bringing these the best assault rifle ever made and one of the originals. We're going to shoot some AKs in 5.45 and 7.62. But they're not as long as the normal AKs. Tell us about this one,
No, they're
Felix.
not. These particular shortened units were developed for special forces, tank brigade, motorized brigades. This is what we have in our hands, or my hands, is M92, developed by Zastava, Serbian manufacturer. It's very identical to an M95, or actually was derived from an M70. Virtually, it's an M70 that has been shortened down. These guns carry all the same characteristics, all the same designs as reliability as your standard AK-47. Basically, it's a Kalashnikov variant that was developed and designed by Zastava Arms. This particular variant that utilizes a mill receiver. Most of them were on a stamp receiver.
Sure.
Interesting fact about these guns, that versus the 5.45 platform, the short barrel did not hamper the performance. The velocity of a 7.62 by 39 remained very close to that of a full-size 16-inch gun, where the velocity on a 5.45 have dropped tremendously. These units are still in service all over the world, and they are some of the best, or if not the best, assault rifles in the world.
I love it. It's my drug of choice. The AK that you built for me is still my favorite and the very best AK I've ever seen, much less own. These things you got these things as chopped kits, right?
Yeah, a few years back, we have purchased these as demilled kits. They were actually a brand new machine guns that were demilled. They took and cut the lower receiver and basically put the parts in a box and send it to United States. These kits utilized all of the original matching number parts versus the kits that were not assembled. Later in the time, the ATF made the regulations where you couldn't import these guns with the barrel, and as we all know, the barrel, the trunnion, is pretty much the gun.
That's the gun.
So these kits are fairly rare these days, and we're very fortunate to be able to purchase them when we did, because what we have here is virtually a all matching number machine gun except for the lower receiver. The lower receiver is, like I said, a billet lower receiver, which is what we chose for that build, but we do have them with a stamp receiver.
Now let's look at the 5.45.
5.45 by 39 is one of the ones that's close to my heart. I really love that weapon. It is a very easy to control, very easy to shoot, very versatile weapon. The design of this weapon started back in 1973. These are AKS. In 1974, the AKS-74 with a 5.45 by 39 round was introduced. And it was a Kalashnikov steam answer to an M16 platform, which utilizes the 5.56 NATO. The U in these variants, it's a AKSU, stands for shortened.
Okay. The Russian
word for that stands укороченный, which means a shortened gun. Interesting fact about these is that very commonly in the United States, this gun is referred to as Krinkov. There is no such a thing as a Krinkov.
Krinkov isn't even a Russian word.
it's a slang. It's a true American slang. There's been a lot of research done. Some people have thought that it maybe came from Afghanistan when Mujahideen was using it. There was no confirmed reports on that. The name for this gun that was used in Russian special forces and in the Russian army was a suchka, which refers to a young harlot. To put it mildly.
That would be the B word.
To put it mildly, or a kurak, and a kurak means the hot cigarette butt. Because the gun was so hot when you ran it, it really reminded you of that. The gun, like I said, started design in 1973. It went into a full updatation in 1977, and in 1979 it was widely used. Mainly it was used for special forces, paratroopers, tank brigades. It also became very iconic in some of the Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
The James Bond movie, the GoldenEye, Pierce Brosnan have used this gun that iconic scene when he slides down the staircase, and also the Ivanova on the top have used that gun. So it's a very fun gun to shoot. It's also built on an original Bulgarian AK-74 U-kit. The Bulgarian guns were exactly as the Russian guns. As we know, the Eastern European bloc countries have utilized all the technology and basically made some of their variances. We have also acquired that kit about the same time we acquired that kit. This is utilizing a no-dock spot receiver, which was as close as you can get to the original receiver, but the rest of the kit is an original matching number gun.
Now you run this gun.
I
compete with this gun.
I actually compete this in an IDPA. They kind of like let me play it in our local range. It's a very fun gun to shoot. It's my favorite gun. One of the other interesting things about the projectile for this gun, the 5.45 by 39, it tumbles.
It's a wicked round.
It's a very wicked round, and Mujahideen used to absolutely hate that round because it would produce such a tremendous flesh wound effect. Also, the gun was referred to by them as Osama. Because Osama bin Laden have favored that gun. Pretty much with these guns, you can't go wrong.
Standard controls.
Whenever you pull the trigger, it goes bang.
Yeah, they certainly do. Well, let's quit talking and let's shoot the thing.
Let's make it hot, please.
Yeah, make it hot. Okay, we're going to start with the 5.45, which is just an incredible build and very, very light recoil, if you can even call it recoil. Thanks, brother. Felix, this is beautiful.
Very easy to operate.
Incredible, no recoil. I like the rate of fire. It's incredibly controllable. There is no recoil. The thing functions flawlessly. I might have to rethink my fixation on 7.62.
All right, modulate.
Okay, 7.62 by 39, the way God and General Kalashnikov intended. Milled, I love it. This thing feels so good. It's perfectly balanced. Can't wait to shoot it. Excellent. Excellent. God, what a gun, Felix. This thing runs perfectly. Well, Felix, thank you. I love the little Suchka.
My pleasure.
I love the little Suchka. They're a little bit louder, but they're just as reliable and they're just as fun. I can't thank you enough. These are works of art. And even if you can't afford or you don't want to go through the hassle of getting machine gun, you sell semi-auto SBRs, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have actually a couple of these guns left, and they are sold as SBRs. And also, we can convert them to a long barrel rifle by adding a extension that actually looks like that muzzle brake, and it brings them into a 16-inch overall length, which is
no tax stamp, no NFA.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go to Gunpoint if you want to get one of these or one of the SBRs. Thank you so much.
How cool was that shooting Shorty AK?
They're fun, man. I love them, but the one thing that camera doesn't show is how hot they are, especially that 5.45.
You can make a BLT on that thing.
you kid. Hey, if you missed that or you want to catch up on any of the stuff we're doing or our behind-the-scenes footage and photos, go to our social media, all of which is linked on thegunwriter.com.
Next up, we're going to talk primer safety in our T1 and 2.
Important stuff, brother.
Hi, this is Alex from T1 Ammunition, and I want to take a second to talk to you guys a little bit about primers. With primers, you have many different manufacturers, you have different sizes, large pistol, small pistol, large rifle, small rifle. There's Magnum primers, there's non-Magnum primers. Here at T1, we mainly use CCI and Federal primers of different sizes. With those different primers also comes all sorts of different softnesses and hardnesses, if you will. Some guns prefer certain brands over other ones. We here at T1 primarily use CCI primers or Federal, especially in our competition line. A lot of the competition shooters like the Federal primers. Another very important thing with your primers is your primer seating depth, that your primers are seated to the correct specifications. You know, if your primer's not seated far enough, the gun can actually seat that primer with the firing pin or striker and give you the illusion of a light strike. Primer safety is incredibly important. Eye protection should always be worn at all times when messing around with primers. On our automated equipment that we run, we found that the average primer has around 9 pounds of pressure for it to detonate, so all the springs with the priming systems are set to 7 pounds to help prevent accidental detonations. This is Alex. Thanks for tuning in, for learning a little bit about primers. This has been T1 and 2.
Going out and hanging out with Alex and the boys at T1 Ammunition. What quality ammunition they make?
Great guys, proud to have them as a sponsor, super product here locally. Next up, we're going to go out and shoot some vests. We're taking 9mm up to 12 gauge slug and we're throwing them at KDH body armor. You don't want to miss this. This is fun. We'll be back in 2.